Well, hello everyone, and we haven't done one of these whole school assemblies for quite a while. Feel quite nostalgic really for when we were back in lockdown. But as we head into our last week now, before we break up for half term, I thought lots of you are at home, whether you're self-isolating because you've been a direct contact of a case in school, or because you've got people in your family that have got COVID or have got symptoms. So to bring us all together in this last week, I thought we'd share assembly with everybody. And also, for you over in the juniors, I am really missing coming over on a Friday morning and doing that celebration assembly that we normally do. And I just got a few photographs of people that are actually missing you. And Rita is in a bubble, she's in a year 7 bubble, but when she's not in, she is also engaged in her blended learning at home. So here's a picture of Rita for you all, because I know especially in the juniors you're missing her, but there she is on her laptop at home actually doing her work. And I've got another one for you girls that you might enjoy. She has a new best friend. Makes Rita look tiny, doesn't she? There's Rita with her new best friend Flo, and that's Mrs. Costello's Great Dane Flo, because Rita, like us, needs to get her fresh air as well. But in all seriousness, today's assembly to bring us all together, and also just a few little messages from me before we share some celebratory things, which is a good thing to do before we head into our half term at the end of this week, because it has been an incredibly challenging, tough time this half term for us as a school, and for you at home as parents and carers as well, and an opportunity for me to say a huge thank you to all of you for your support and for working with us to help the girls and to help you as families through this as well. Now, the start of this assembly will sound a little bit like one of Mr. Rhymer's bad jokes. Things that I saw in the news recently over the last couple of weeks. 3 things. A man in a jet suit. I'm going to show you a photograph very quickly. Here we are. Magawa, the rat. Mr. Wakefield's here with his camera skills. And an alligator. Does sound like 3 people go into a bar sort of joke, doesn't it? But what it is all about, Magawa was a rat that actually won a special gold medal, because Magawa the rat has actually been sniffing out landmines in Africa, and has actually sniffed out 39 landmines and 28 unexploded munitions in his whole career. That is why he has received this gold medal. And it's about using science and animals to help us. The man in the jet suit is in the Lake District. Now this was fascinating because the Great North Air Ambulance Service has carried out the first trial of a rescue in the mountains using a jet suit. And instead of it taking at least 30 minutes to get up the mountain on foot, in this jet suit, that paramedic could get there in 90 seconds to save somebody's life, which is incredible. And then the other one that I enjoyed reading about this week, and again this is all to do with science and people using science and innovation and inventions to help people. This was a bit of a funny one. This was the Ig Nobel Science Award. Now this is like the Nobel Prizes, but they're silly prizes. But they actually are quite serious as well, because this prize was for some scientists that actually gave alligators some helium to make them sound different, so they could see how reptiles communicate with one another, and the deeper the sound, the larger the reptile, so they could recognise one another. So actually putting them in the tank and giving an alligator helium, I wish I had some sound for you to know what it sounded like, and they actually won an award. But in seriousness, they've done some really serious research as well. So lots of science going on, and particularly important, I really enjoyed reading those because they were nothing to do with our situation we're all living through at the moment. And also, I hope, girls, that you read in the news this week and last week about the Nobel Prizes, that the first prizes for women scientists for chemistry, the Nobel Prize for Chemistry went to 2 women scientists this time, and the first time in 200 years, the history that they've been giving out these prizes. And I was thinking that one day that could be you. And there's been a new prize just launched this last week as well by Prince William and Sir David Attenborough, and that is about an environmental award, a scientific award, actually finding things in our environment and using science to help protect our planet. So I'm setting up a challenge for you, because who knows, in the future it could be a student from BHSA that could actually do some fantastic work to help somebody else, using innovation, using invention, using science. So we are heading towards our half term, and it has been incredibly tough with some of you working in school, some of you having to work at home, but I've got quite a few mentions that staff wanted me to go through today. So I'm going to start off with the juniors. And last week on the Friday, it was Hello Yellow Day. It was for raising money for positive mental health awareness. And the sea of yellow walking down the road in the morning, the yellow tights, the yellow accessories, was absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much if you donated and you took part in that day. We've had some competitions, and Mrs. Duran, our librarian, had a competition for the juniors, and that was actually designing a book trolley, because the trolleys now, all the girls obviously are working in their zones and in their bubbles, and the juniors, they've got their very own book trolleys for their books, and the winners of the best decorated book trolley go to, and we're going to zoom in again, here is 5L's Blazing Brainiac book trolley. So congratulations to 5L, you have won the award for the best book trolley. We really, really enjoyed seeing that one. And more wonderful work in year 5 as well. I have seen some fantastic work from 5K, and thank you to Mrs. Kingsley for all the work she's done to promote this and to drive this forward. So for Black History Month, 5K in particular and other girls have actually done some wonderful poems and some beautiful artwork, and 3 in particular that were highlighted to me that I've really enjoyed reading, some beautiful artwork as well, were Harriet Shaw Allen, Esme Fearon and Daisy Lewis. So congratulations girls, they were really impressive. And then finally in the juniors, we have announced our house captains, and normally girls this would be something that we would do in our Friday morning assemblies, and you come up and for the handshake and your badges. So in 6M, house captains will be Nancy Evans, Hallie Mae Upton Thomas, Darcy May Bonnet and Megan Newton. And then in 6R, Ava Atkinson, Elma Reynolds, Emily Hughes and Lottie Holzhofer. So that's big positions of responsibility there, girls, where you can show leadership and responsibility. So good luck, and I know that you will be really brilliant in those house captain roles. And then for the seniors, Mr. Austin wanted Jess Bolton Allen to have a mention for completing the impossible programming task in computer science. So well done, Jess. In year 7, Lily Matheson gets a bravery award. Now she had quite a nasty fall and ended up having to go to the dentist and the doctor, I think, and ended up with stitches in her lip. She was absolutely brilliant. She was so brave and back in school really quickly, so well done to Lily. And for the whole of year 7, they had their, I think I frightened them and told them they were having flu jabs and injections. In fact, it was a nasal spray against the flu, but the nurses that came into school to administer that said that it was the most efficient set of year 7s and the quickest school they had ever dealt with no drama. So we were very proud of you girls, well done. And Mr. Wakefield is nodding behind the camera here. In year 10, Mrs. Crawford wanted to say a thank you and a huge congratulations to Beth Harwood. Now Beth has created some beautiful artwork for the Humanities Department. Mrs. Crawford is going to have it framed and it'll be up in the corridors in G Block for us all to enjoy. Well, for the year 10s to enjoy anyway, because that's their zone of the school. And in RE in year 9, Mrs. Crawford wanted to mention Darla for some excellent work and a very active role in her RE lessons. Mrs. Sadler wanted to mention Misha Henderson for exceptional perseverance with the extension challenge she had been set recently. And then Mrs. Grealis for RE wanted the following girls mentioned for outstanding work. So in year 7, Lexi Parry, Eva Swain and Eva May. In year 8, Villy Newman, Ava Morrissey, Amy Lehman, Bethany Moran, Phoebe Lewis and Katrina Skiba. And then finally in year 9, Georgia Ellis, Misha Henderson, Seren Jones, Lily O'Hara, Zara Rutter, Megan Stott, Anna Crawford and Imogen Morell. So to all of those, well done girls. And I know that there has been some fabulous work going on this half term, whether you've been doing your work online because you've had to be at home for a little while, or whether it's been in school. And school continues as normal, no matter where you are. We're providing those lessons, especially Year 11s and Year 13, if, because of your family being poorly, or we have to send you home from school because of a case, you need to be following your timetable, logging on. Likewise, opportunities for after-school learning as well. Your teachers will be contacting you in Year 11, Year 13 for those extra booster sessions we're now putting on for you girls as well. We don't know what your exams are going to look like, whether we go down the routes that Scotland have already announced. We are lobbying the government for an answer on that on your behalf because we think you deserve to know sooner rather than later. But we will do everything we can to support you through that and communicate anything we are given with you as soon as we receive it. So, we have this last week before we have our half term. Your teachers really, really deserve that half term. They have bent over backwards to make this work, and it has been incredibly challenging, but the teamwork that's going on in the school is brilliant to make it work for you girls. And girls, what you can do, because I know we're in the northwest of England, there are tougher measures coming for all of us. I know it's tough and I know it's difficult, but the only way that this is ever going to get better is if we follow those regulations. And if you do have to self-isolate, that means you do not go out and you don't mix. None of us can go into each other's houses at all at the moment, and we've all got to work together to make this work. So from me, when it arrives on Friday, have a fantastic half term and have a really good break. You probably can't go very far, you won't better go to each other's houses, but have a rest, read a good book, watch some good films and switch off. And to parents and carers, we really appreciate your support. So from me and everyone at BHSA, thank you very much for everything you do. Bye bye.